The answer is there in the words which follow, because this Quran is Kitabun Mubin, it's plain and clear. Ba'aduhum awliya'u ba'd. Do not take such Jews and do not take such Christians as your friends and allies. Ba'aduhum awliya'u ba'd, who themselves are friends and allies of each other. The Quran is anticipating a time which is to come when there will be a reconciliation and friendship and alliance between part of the Christian world, not the whole Christian world, and part of the Jewish world, not the whole Jewish world. When that alliance comes into being, then we Muslims are prohibited from being their friends and allies. وَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّهُمْ مِنْكُمْ فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ. And whosoever from amongst you turn to them with friendship and alliance, enter into their embrace, whether it is political, or whether it is economic, or whether it is monetary, or whether it is educational, or whether it is in entertainment and sport, whatever it may be, if you enter into their embrace, وَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّهُمْ مِنْكُمْ فَإِنَّهُ مِنْهُمْ. You no longer belong to the ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. You now belong to them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Surely Allah will not provide guidance for a wicked people. Now let me relax a little bit. I got an invitation from Senegal. I like Senegal. I've been there once before, about 30 years ago. About a year ago they contacted me. We want you to come to this big Islamic conference taking place in December. And I said, sure, alhamdulillah, I'd love to come. And they kept on reminding me about it. And I kept on saying, yes, I will come. Sheikh, we want you there. We love you in Senegal. My French is not too great, but still I could understand French and I could speak a little bit. Then they sent me the program, the conference. And when I went to the program, I saw the name of former President Bill Clinton. That he's going to be addressing the conference, so I sent a letter to them right away. I will not disgrace myself. And I will not disgrace the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam in participating in any conference, Islamic conference, in which Bill Clinton is invited to address the conference, or any representative of the government of the United States of America. You can be annoyed with me, that's your business. I will not disgrace myself and disgrace the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. That was my response. Why? Because I can see the Jewish-Christian alliance. It is this Jewish-Christian alliance which came into being and was cemented by something called Zionism, which has its mission to liberate the Holy Land for the Jews, to bring the Jews back to the Holy Land, to reclaim it as their own 2,000 years after Allah had expelled them. And having expelled them, he said, وَحَرَامٌ عَلَى قَرْيَةٍ أَهْلَكْنَاهَا أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ. You can never return to reclaim this town as you own after I've destroyed it. You can never return. Hatta, until, and we let you know what it is. So I recognize that it is the Judeo-Christian Zionist alliance which is at the heart of modern Western civilization. That it is this modern Western civilization which gave to the world a continuing scientific and technological revolution, which gave to it unprecedented military power. For the first time in human history, one civilization with a military power to take control of the whole world. And then use that military power to wage a Western jihad, against the rest of the world, at the point of a bloody sword, and to colonize the rest of the world. In their jihad, they call it crusade, it's a jihad. And Bill Clinton is one of the foremost figures in that alliance. Every American president. If an American president steps out of line, they do to them what they did to JFK. If an American president steps out of line, they do to them what they did to John F. Kennedy. You're not supposed to step out of line. So I said to them, I will not disgrace myself and disgrace the Ummah Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam by attending an Islamic conference in a Muslim country to be addressed by Bill Clinton or any representative of the US government. I gave that answer because my ilmu akhir zaman, or Islamic eschatology, allowed me to recognize the reality of modern Western civilization using the Book of Allah. That's the importance of this subject. Modern Western civilization passed through certain stages in the process of serving the mission of Al-Masih al-Dajjal. Who is Al-Masih al-Dajjal is not taught in your engineering faculty. He is someone created by Allah, whose mission it is to impersonate the true Messiah and get the Jews to believe that he is the true Messiah, when in fact he would be the false Messiah. When Allah sent the true Messiah, Allah tested them, and they failed the test. They said he's a bastard. They said he's a bastard. And a bastard cannot be the Messiah. And then when they saw him die on the cross before their very eyes, no, he could not be the Messiah. Why? He is dead. He never ruled the world from Jerusalem. The golden age never came back. The Holy Land is still under Roman rule. What they did not know, and no one knew until the Quran was revealed, was it was Jibreel alayhi salam who came to her in the form of a human being to inform her, you're going to have a baby boy. And he's going to be the Messiah. And she said, how can I have a baby boy when no man has ever touched me? And he said, it's a matter decreed by Allah. يَفْعَلُ مَا يُرِيدُ. He can do whatever he wants. What they did not know, and no one knew until the Quran was revealed, was that no, they did not kill him. No, they did not crucify him. Allah made it appear like that. And if we have the time, the Quran can explain to you what happened. And Allah raised him. So he never experienced mouth. What is Maut?
Yes.
Maut is when Allah takes the soul and does not return it. Or, so can Allah take the soul and return it? Huh? Is that possible? Yeah. In Surah Al-Zumar, Allah takes the soul and Allah can return it when you're sleeping. So one day, He's going to come back, the true Messiah. But they rejected Him. They say He's a bastard. وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ هَذَا. And they're waiting for the Messiah to come. So that's why Allah created the false Messiah. And the false Messiah is the mastermind who created modern Western civilization. Only Islamic eschatology can give that answer, no one else. No one else. And the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, about Dajjal, and if you want to study Dajjal, make sure you know politics. Make sure you know economics. Make sure you know monetary economics. Make sure you know world history. If you want to study Dajjal, don't enter this subject unless you have a versatile scholarship. Make sure you have proper methodology for studying the Quran. And that proper methodology will be able to identify for you fabricated ahadith. Like that, fabricated ahadith. Fabricated hadith. That Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha said, the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam married me when I was 6. Sahih Bukhari. If you accept that to be true, then I ask you to show just 5 ringgits worth of integrity. That's all. Stand up and say, I am prepared to marry a 6-year-old girl. If he could do it, then it is sunnah. If it is the sunnah to marry a 6-year-old girl, then how come you're not doing it? If you have integrity, if you say the hadith is valid, it is true, then how come you're not prepared to even say it? Come on, I challenge you. Say it. No one has done it in human history. From the time of the Prophet ﷺ to this day, how many Muslims have married a 6-year-old girl? How many? Why have you abandoned the sunnah so shamelessly? The answer is the hadith is fabricated. It is in conflict with the Quran. So proper methodology is required. Because when you come to ilmu akhir al-zaman, you're entering into a minefield. They put mines there. You step on it, the ship will blow. Sometimes the hadith is fabricated. And sometimes a part of the hadith is fabricated. The rest is okay. So you've got to be able to recognize the fabrication. The Prophet said, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, that when Dajjal is released, he'll live on earth for 40 days. There's a book outside of mine entitled Jerusalem in the Quran, and the cover of the book, designed by a Malay artist, you'll see 3 circles.